Mr. Askey, how's your race going so far?
It's gone okay, it's gone average. We've came away with a win. We've rode well every single day, but we've not really had luck on our side in this first part of the tour. But yeah, I'd say it's gone fairly well. We couldn't have really asked for much more from everyone in the team. Everyone has done their job pretty perfectly up to this point, so yeah.
Pretty good average stat. And so how did stage 3 go when you made the front group? Everyone knew it was going to be crosswinds. The briefing was all about crosswinds. Everyone's briefing was all about crosswinds. And then it didn't really kick off. There was a lot of times it tried to kick off, and there was a lot of stress, and with the rain as well at the start of the stage. It was a real stressful day right from the start. And then, yeah, it was at the point actually just after a feed zone when we said if it hasn't kicked off by now, we're going to be right at the front. And yeah, I moved up, and yeah, it kicked off, and it was hard for about 15-20 minutes, and by the first time I actually looked back and stopped thinking about just trying to get back in the echelon and riding as hard as I could. We couldn't see anyone else on the same road, and yeah, from that point on, I just sat, well, we just rolled through really, but the Dutch had about 4 guys there, the Australians had a few. So I had to chase a few moves down, and it just meant that with quite a hard finish, I didn't have the legs at the end to play for the win. So great ride. And how did you find today? Can you explain how the final was and how it went for you?
Today was a really easy day for the most part. The breakaway went, and there was a lot of teams that still wanted a sprint, so with that the road got blocked, and then with a headwind all day, a few teams just put one guy up front, and then it was just, I'd say the last 30k we started to ride hard, and it was all just about positioning, big wide roads, headwind still into the finish. And yeah, we'd done a pretty good job again. I sort of had to do the last 500 metres into a corner, the final right hand corner with 700 metres to go. So I had to go pretty hard then, but Ethan was in like the perfect place on my wheel for the sprint. But unfortunately he drops his chain on the very last corner. So yeah, so I just stayed in the line then and came away with 4th. But it was just, yeah, it was frustrating because I think if he hadn't dropped his chain there, that would have been another win today. And yeah, I'd already made my effort, so there was not really much I could do in the final.
Obviously, you've been picking up some results yourself, but how have you been finding the role of the last lead-out man in this race so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've done a lot of obviously with FDJ and the Conti, and probably what I'll be finding myself doing a lot next year also. So I think it's a role I've fitted into quite well, and with the positioning, and yeah, I know I've sort of figured out how to do this role quite well. So yeah, I enjoy it. It's nice. Like yesterday when we came away with that win, that was the feeling after the line was awesome. So yeah, it's good.
And what's coming up the next few days?
Next few days is mountains. So hopefully, there's been a lot of carnage, a lot of crashes, and the GC is already pretty. There's big time gaps in the GC, so we'll see what we can do. We have Tom, who's going to win the race. So yeah, it'll be a lot. I don't really know what's coming up really. I just know there's lots of mountains, and it's going to be hard. But yeah, it's about that.
Well, I'm glad you've got some faith in him. Thank you for your time, Mr. Askey.
Cool.